You are watching We All Be News Radio, News Free Dixie for the 21st century. I'm Thaddeus Matthews.
Also, people don't know too that I started to figure out just listening to you that you're ordained minister, correct?
Yeah.
But you bash, when people say you bash and you criticize the church establishment, because we in the Bible Belt, right? But people criticize you for going after pastors and what some people call nigger preachers. So, I mean, what is your take on that?
Well, being in church all my life and pastoring for a long time, I've been in ministry for over 40 years. Okay? So I know the tricks of the pulpit. Okay? I've been in the back rooms. I've seen how the money is handled. And one of the biggest things that has hindered black folk is the black church. See, the black church has taught you to wait to by and by when the morning comes, and you ain't supposed to have no things till you get to heaven. Hell, you gotta die first. Okay? We have not taught our people of the black presence in the church. We have not even taught black folk where the term missionary Baptist church comes from. And you'll notice only the missionary Baptist church is used with black church. Yep. It was because you were the white Christians, you were their mission. And the first black preacher that was not called by Jesus. He was called by that white man because that nigger preacher could not read. So here, nigga, this is what I want you to read. This is what I want you to say. And I want you to let the slaves know that me as your master, I'm the same as your God. See this nice blonde hair I got. See these blue eyes I got. I'm just like God. And if you're going to worship God, you got to worship me. That type of suppression is what kept slavery going. You do know that the first slave ship was called the good ship Jesus.
That's right.
When we came from the Ivory Coast of Africa. And one of the things that Christians, the so-called Christian, and I don't call myself Christian, I call myself spiritual, because Jesus never told you to be a Christian. Okay? Then you go back and you check your history, his name could not have been Jesus 2015 years ago, because there was no letter J in the Greek or the Hebrew language. The name that was used then was Yahshua. But I'll accept Jesus. In the translation that King James gave you, the homosexual who created his version of the Bible and left a lot of books out called the Apocrypha, he left those books out of the Bible and gave you his version of the Bible, and in his version of the Bible, it puts the black man in a position as all I want to do is shout, holler, roll, and jump. I want to give all of my money to the church. The church, the pastor drives a Bentley, and I got to stand on the bus stop. That don't make sense to me, man. I mean, hell, what kind of sense is that? You tell me on Sunday morning that the Lord has cattle on 1,000 hills, and I'm eating ramen noodles. I'm a child of the King, but as a child of the King, I can't eat no steak, and he got all these cows on 1,000 hills. Damn, how come I got to serve the EBT card, God? How come I can't get the black card, God, like the white folk got? How come I got to do this? And then how come I got to go to church at 7 o'clock in the morning? I got to be there at 7 o'clock at night. I got to be there for the pastor's day, the children's day, the number one choir, the missionary choir, the little sissy musicians choir day. And the white folk go and give their little money, and they go home, they're out on the lake. So we have been enslaved by theological thought that God has nothing at all to do with. But I ain't gonna get on one of my tangents.
No, but it's important to say that because, like you said, you the only independent black media voice. You paying the cost to be the boss, though. You doing for self. And I look at a lot of religions, especially Judaism. Like I'm going to New York. I go to Williamsburg, and you see a bunch of Jewish people, Hasidic Jews. And I was on a tour bus one time. They're talking about how the Hasidic Jews, they don't go to secular schools, but every corner they had a yellow school bus and their own academy. They control their they had a community. They control the economics. They control the education. They control the policing in the community.
But Ron, let me ask you something. What if the black church, and there are over 4,000 black churches in Memphis and Shelby County.
Wow.
What if each one of those churches gave back 10% of the money that they took in every Sunday and put it into an economic empowerment program for the black community?
That'd be powerful.
Okay?
Yeah.
But that's not happening. Okay? It's not happening. You want to be the biggest preacher. You want to drive your Bentley. You want to talk about how many folk you shouted, how many folk you got in your choir on a Sunday morning, and your folk are living in poverty.
Right.
Okay? And you keep telling your folk, keep living on, you keep trusting in God. Well, the preacher's not trusting in God. That type of preacher that is preaching that, he's not trusting in God. He's trusting on you to come and be a fool each and every Sunday and leave all your money at the church. And when you leave, you can't even go buy a 2-piece at church's chicken. Come on. So is that really what God's want? Brethren, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as your soul prosper. As your soul prosper, your money ought to grow. Your pocket ought to prosper. Ain't no blessing in being poor, brother.
You know what people say? They say money is the root of evil, but it's not money.
It says that the love of money is the root of all evil. And you can love the things that money does.
Right.
But when money is the factor by which you're motivated totally.
Right.
Okay. Then there's where the problem that you can't do nothing for nobody.
Right.
Okay. But you supposed to have some money now. Oh Jesus! I can't go to Memphis like gas and robbery and tell them how much I love the Lord.
Thank you.
When I got 3 cars and they all got good gas tanks on them. I can't pull up at the BP, the Exxon, or the Mapco and say I love Jesus. Fill it up. It takes some money. The Bible says that the poor will be with you always. Well, those are the individuals that ain't gonna get up off their ass in the morning and go and get that money. Okay, I got to get up and go get it. As you've been saying here, you've been seeing folk bringing me because I'm an entrepreneur.
That's right.
Okay, I'm gonna sell anything legally that's gonna make some money. And they've been coming and getting one of my favorite products any other day.
Yeah.